Alrighty, folks, it is time for round 3 of Grand Prix Halls of Valor, the first ever Revolution Plane Chase Grand Prix. We're up against Viola here on Mono Black Mission. Uh, Pretty interesting looking deck. There is a slight red splash. There's two mountains in the main. Those are the only red sources that Viola has access to. Those are primarily for extraction mission. All of Viola's spells are mono black, though I believe, yeah, there is one of terminal impact in the sideboard as well. So this deck that we're up against, we have some time before our opponent shows up. So just to give a brief understanding of what we're up against here, our opponent is going to be on a bit of a value plan. Three of each of these three ofs, each of these three drops, Corrupt Congressman, Data Weaver, and Gloomy Meteorologist. Congressman, we have seen not do too much work for us, but maybe that'll change in this matchup. Data Weaver, really great value card. Gloomy Meteorologist can go get some weathers and start pinging, or it can even just be a 3/3 lifelinker in this field, as well as two copies of Host of the Never-Ending Revel, which can force sacks of non-lands, non-token permanents, and Inner Ring's Pupil, which can shred our hand, our creatures, and then our life total. That all is backed up by 3 copies of Cutting Room Floor, 4 copies of Phenax's Touch, 2 copies of Path of Phenax, 4 Singularities, which is something that Viola called out in the deck name as being one of their favorite cards. A Singularity Enjoyer has logged on is their deck name specifically. So she's a big fan of Singularity, something to be keenly aware of. This is not super great against us in terms of trying to find a 1-drop. This is probably just going to pick off a token most times, but can pick off clique tokens, so that's not nothing. And then can start hitting some of our Titans as she casts more copies, as well as 4 copies of Extraction Mission to get back those 3 and 4 drops and potentially clone them if red is paid. Get like a temporary clone. Final Fate to pick off some of our creatures, and Killing in the Name of, which is going to be very good against us because all of our creatures are monocolored. So that's kind of a downside here of us being on a multicolor matters kind of deck that all has monocolored creatures. Killing the Name of, not a card I have been super impressed by in terms of the format in general, but I do think I have been sleeping on the pure potential of Killing the Name of, just because I feel like so many of the big threats in the field right now do just die to this. It doesn't hit Kaineos is like the big whiff that I can think of. Doesn't hit Kaineos. Kind of misses on Builder as well, but I think Kaineos is the much more important thing that this misses. But you know, this picks off a lot of things, which can be pretty nice. And then their sideboard, and they have she has joined, so we're gonna get in the match in just a moment here. But we have 2 Soul Guide Lanterns in their her sideboard. Falling Ashes and Sandstorm each is a 1 of off of the Gloomy Meteorologist. 2 out with the old, 3 Chronicle of Extinction, 3 Dissect Intel, 2 Drown in Sorrow, and 1 Terminal Impact. We do not have a Den of the First Dream on our opponent's side of the field, but they might be there might be a concern of Chronicle coming in on our opponent's side just because of that. Yeah, let's get ready to hop in here. Alrighty. We've been doing pretty well with the die rolls so far, but I've said that, so we rolled an 11. We'll see our opponent. Uh, uh, we did win the die roll again. So tournament's been kind to us on that regard. We have Double Island, Unspeaking Titan, Chronicle of Precedence, which is pretty much all we could ask for, I feel like. Unspeaking Titan, not going to find hits on the first couple turns, but like, it's also going to be a pain for our opponents to remove, especially if we can back them up with each other. Just getting some plane chase communication with my opponent. I just got a ping, which makes me think the command was just run. Yeah, LackeyBot just sent in the command there. That yeah, that's the link for our match. So we are good to roll. We are good to go. I think I'm just going to keep the perspective here for the sake of visuals. Just squaring away some of the logistics here. I'm excited about this hand. I think we can make some things work depending on the plane we get. Of course, our opponent is on 15 planes, so we do have to be kind of wary of that. Korganazan Command, Data Channels, Gold Peak Gateway, Gravel Gate, Underpass. They are on all 5 of the Clique planes, so a third of the planar deck is just Cliques. So that's exciting. Nyland getting represented. And then, Theros also pretty good for us to get to. Theros could be, turn 1 Unspeaking Titan, turn 2. It really doesn't let us accelerate too much. I think I'm really hoping we don't flip into Setessa right now, but there is a 2 in 30. There's a 1 in 15 chance we hit Setessa right now. Mokar Valley, I would be more interested in here. I think I could leverage Mokar Valley better than my opponent. Opponent goes to a Mold 6. Yeah, I really wish I'd included Mokar Valley. That is, I talked about this in the deck tech. I think this was one of the biggest oversights I had. Opponent says it'll do. Oh, Mold 5. Yeesh. Not a good place for my opponent to be, especially on a grindier mid-range deck, but they could get some things done here. Putting 1 card to the bottom and another card to the bottom in just a moment. All right. We are planeswalking to Setessa. I spoke it into existence. Ugh, not one I really wanted to show up on immediately. All right. Yeah, we both have it. So. No draw here on our first turn. I'm just going to go straight to main 2 and add double colorless. And I think I'm going to roll before I do anything else. Rolled a 2. I'm going to pay 1 to roll again. Just do this before I have any other information. Rolled a 4. And then we'll just develop Unspeaking Titan. Yeah, so our opponent could develop a 3-drop here. Little bit of concern because their 3-drops are pretty good. Really don't want our opponent to just go Swamp Data Weaver here. Also don't want our opponent to go Swamp Killing in the name of paying Ward. But Setessa, it is safe to just kind of spin this, I think. Opponent cracks a Primal Fisher. They go get a Swamp. Go to main 2, get their colorless. That is a killing in the name of paying ward. Ugh, exactly the concern here. Yep. And they develop Vishanki Incorporated right away. They are, she's rolling. Oh, rolled a d12. Whoops. Yeah, rolled a d20, rolled a 12. So rolling. Oh, we're planeswalking. Uh-oh. Skycrest Estates makes a treasure immediately and denies us the treasure moving forward. That's rough. Oh, we're getting Finax's touch as well. I think with this sequence the way that it is, I'm going to pitch the Swamp and take one. It's not great, but I think I just need to focus on what I can play rather than what I could potentially draw. But yeah, no, our opponent's scenario has gone infinitely better than it has for us. Two rolls kind of just getting nothing done, and then watching our opponent deny us the Setessa next turn and get a treasure off of the Vishanki Incorporated, as well as kill our creature with the mana from Setessa paying the ward. All around, not a good position to be in. And again, we're going to be denied the treasure here, so creating a token. I'm going to go Tyrell here because I'd like to have some control over my draws. I'll pop out my graveyard here. I'll pop out my opponents too because they are on extraction mission, so that might be important. And then we will draw a forest, making me wish I'd pitched the forest, unfortunately. We'll go ahead and play forest, and let's play Unspeaking Titan first. Rolled a 3, nothing happening. Yeah, the dice have not been kind to me the last couple games that I've played. Was very kind to me game 1 of last round, but after that first roll of last match, the dice have just been very unkind to me. And of course, our opponent makes a treasure here. They can go land drop killing in the name of pay the ward again. And then this Chronicle of Precedence is looking real awkward. Okay, they're just cracking Finax's touch. I am okay with that. I'm very happy to see them just cracking Finax's touch here. Significantly less awkward for us. Paying a treasure, Finax's touch again. Sure, let's just pitch this forest and take one. And then our opponent is rolling. Rolled a 4. So no events occurring here. We will go to our turn, upkeep, Surveil 2. Chronicle of Extinction and Unspeaking Titan again. That's interesting. I think what I'm going to do here, I'm going to move Chronicle to top, and I'm going to draw both, because my opponent obviously has hand attack. I think what I'm interested in doing here is Chronicle of Precedencing my Unspeaking Titan, keeping just the Chronicle of Extinction in hand, and accepting that my opponent, on their turn, is inclined to try and take the last card out of my hand, at which point I lose the Chronicle of Extinction that I have no means of paying for, and I get to preserve the Unspeaking Titan on the top of my deck. So, yeah, we're going to keep it like that. Yep, and opponent just updated life totals because they did take one off of Finax's touch. We will draw the Chronicle of Extinction. We'll play Island. We will play Chronicle of Precedence, cloning the Unspeaking Titan. difficult, we will roll. Rolling a d6. Nothing happening. We will go ahead and pass. And now we get to top deck the Unspeaking Titan. Our opponent can't easily deal with the Titans we have. 2 mana and treasure. They could go land drop, pay 4, killing in the name of one of our Titans. That would be kind of annoying, but it's not the worst case scenario for us. And of course, if they just drop a creature, we are in a very comfortable position. Unless that creature is specifically Host of the Neverending Revel. That is really rough for us. So I've spoken that into existence, and we're going to see Host of the Neverending Revel come down here. Because Host just eats their Fenix's Touch and our Unspeaking Titan, and our non-token Unspeaking Titan can never kill our Unspeaking Titan token, notably. But yeah, it would generally be a pretty rough time, especially since to stun this with Unspeaking Titan, we have to sacrifice a permanent. We could sacrifice the Tyrell Bureau, but that means that we're suddenly not getting value off of our upkeep pledges, which can be kind of awkward. Opponent paying 2. Cracking Fenix's Touch again. That is a good sign, I feel like. That tells me my opponent is in a bit of a bind, trying to find action to deal with these Unspeaking Titans. It also means our opponent isn't developing a creature, so these Titans attack triggers are real useless right now. So could be better. But things are going okay. Opponent says, oh. Board 2 now. Yeah, that is exactly why I was excited to keep the third one. Fenix's Touch. Yeah, none of these are very good at killing our Titans now. Rolls a 1. We're planeswalking. Where are we headed to? Data channels. Opponent does get to make another treasure. That could be bad for us. Opponent just getting to make a treasure here. Because if they are looking at trying to remove our Titans, that can pose a bit of a problem for us. Giving them extra mana. Could let them play a 3-drop if they've been banking their 3-drops, but I feel like they have incentive to want to try and get on board, but at the same time, with... they say, oh, that actually kind of works out. Please don't say that. Singularity. Yeah, just making sure. I believe this does nothing to my token copy as it copies the mana value of the original creature. Might be pausing here for a judge call. If my opponent wants to rewind, I am cool with them rewinding. Just because it is a case of a misunderstanding about how cloning creatures work. I could also be misunderstanding, so maybe pausing to grab a judge real quick. Yeah, I'll pause. All right, short pause break. We did not end up calling a judge. Viola has just determined to keep the singularity on the stack and target the thing that actually gets removed instead. I'm cool with that. So Tyrael Bureau gets exiled, and she will keep her treasures. Alrighty. But we keep our Unspeaking Titans. And good news there. Good news is, first off, we get to pledge again. Create token. I am going to make Hazik Arsenal here, I think. I think I want the bodies to kill my opponent with. And then I will draw. And I need a moment to think. So our opponent is on Korgan Oz in Command, Data Channels, Gold Peak Gateway, Gravelgate Underpass, Halls of Valor, Justiciar Test Lab, Lower Techian, Mokar Valley, Satessa, Skycrest Estates, Starfowl Glade, Test Site Syzygy, Ashen Forges, Golden Palace, and the Veilgate. I feel like, generally speaking, a lot of these are good for us. The question is, how many of these are better for us to have waited to cast our Titan? I think the answer is none of these punish us for casting our Titan after them. So let's roll a 4. I'd love to get a result, please. I rolled a 6. Chaos. Return up to one non-creature card from our graveyard to your hand. I'll get my swamp back. And I will play it as land for turn. So shipping in for 6 here. And we've got 9 on board to our opponent's 12 life here. Don't have a second black source for Chronicle of Extinction at the time, at the current moment in time. But we do have Hazik Arsenal, which is a sort of extant problem for our opponent to have to deal with. As well as obviously the Unspeaking Titans, which are going to kill our opponent in short order. Opponent playing another land, 3 cards in our opponent's hand, 7 mana to use on her turn. Choosing to roll, whiffing. So any future rolls will cost mana. I'm just double checking. Return up to 1 non-creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Okay, just making absolutely sure I could get back to Swamp. Paying 4 here, sacking a treasure and the 3 black mana. I have to assume killing in the name of, that is going to cost 1 more mana. Yep. Opponent cracking treasures rather than using the swamp is interesting. All right. Titan down. They do make a treasure, so she does have 3 mana to use here. Any Titan draw lets these attack. Otherwise, I can just pay to spin the Titan here. Rolling a 4. Opponent not developing the board is very interesting. I feel like you really do want to try and get on board when you can, but I guess Unspeaking Titan really does make that a nightmare, huh? We will go ahead and untap and draw. Oh, sorry, upkeep. I should make the minion token. Then I draw the Corrupt Congressman. Congressman, not going to be important here. So what we're going to do here... I'm going to roll. Roll a 1. Making my escape. Going to Planeswalk. Waiting for it to reconnect. Going to the Silenced Court. No! I forgot about my planes! Well, I guess I'm glad I didn't make the token. I shouldn't be playing the Silenced Court. I care about my board. What was I thinking? I lose my token on Speaking Titan. Or, no, not that. I attach it. Oh, that's so bad for me. Why did I put that in my planar deck? Oh, it's so bad. Oh, lordy. That is so horrendously bad. All right, rolling the dice again. Rolls a 2. If our opponent rolls a 6, they get our Unspeaking Titan, and that is really bad for us. Corrupt Congressman. I will make a minion. The other thing that's really tragic here is if I had a second black source here, Chronicle of Extinction would have taken out the cards in hand and put them in top deck mode. And I think if I had that, I would have just been content not attacking and not spinning at all. And granted, you know, it's possible that my opponent spins the one, goes into Silenced Court, and this is still a bad scenario for me, but it could be better, I guess, is what I'm saying. Opponent on their 5th land in a row, hitting all their land drops. I guess not necessarily in a row. I don't know how many land drops I've missed. Opponent is rolling. Oh, thank God. They got a 1 to Planeswalk and not a 6 to get our Titan. Oh my God, another click plane. I may have to start choosing to have Corrupt Congressman pledge to torment my opponent here. Because they can... Oh, no, it's sacrifice creatures. So, yeah, no, I think I'm definitely in on just Corrupt Congressmaning here. Opponent rolls again. Whiffs. But yeah, especially on Gravelgate Underpass, I think Congressman tormenting is going to be the right play. Maybe I should have done that instead of making the minion. Opponent taps 4. Don't like that. Is it going to be... It's hosted the Neverending Revel. Does have to sacrifice it. Actually, good that we got the Titan back. I think I just don't care about rolling right now. We're going to go upkeep, torment you. Draw step, the fourth unspeaking Titan. We're unstoppable. I will go to combat. Jam. We're going to take 4 and then 3. End of combat, we sacrifice the Decayed token. Main phase 1. Or main phase 2, rather. This is going to make them discard a card and put them in a really rough situation. Oh my goodness, Corrupt Congressman actually doing work. Extraction mission. Ooh. That would have started to pull them back in. And the scary thing here is they need to kill this Corrupt Congressman or we just kill them. Because if they have a creature, we force them to sacrifice it on our upkeep. Yeah, they need to leave Gravelgate Underpass and kill Corrupt Congressman, because even leaving Gravelgate Underpass, we activate Corrupt Congressman first main, and then... Ooh, Phoenix's Touch is not going to do it. Oh, and this is out of my hand. Goodbye, Chronicle of Extinction. Cracking Phoenix's Touch down to 1. And we now have planes that kill them, because we have Lower Techian can kill them. One, two, Final Fate. Oh, gonna have to spend 3 treasures to kill it with Final Fate. Yeah. Yeah, flashback, Final Fate killing Corrupt Congressman. Yeah, that does do it, but our opponent's at 1. Really awkward spot for them. And Corrupt Congressman draw for us now. Yeah, Unspeaking Titan being 2 mana is crazy. This thing is just so insane at locking down the board. So against our opponent here, Gaze Upon Civilization. Our opponent does have ways of picking off Gaze Upon Civilization. Not necessarily a ton, but it can get removed by Host of the Neverending Revel. I don't think that's a big deal, though. I think Chromagoyf is really bad in this matchup. Oh, I locked my sideboard. I think Chromagoyf is really bad here. I think Turn to Nyx is really good. I think Forget Their Names could be really good. I think Final Fate is really bad. Just genuinely kills nothing out of their main deck. That might just be it. Take out 7 cards. Oh, wait, when did I took out a Corrupt Congressman by accident. So take out 6 cards. We've got 7 to board in. Could go down a Gaze Upon Civilization. Could do 3 Turn to Nyx. Could do 2 Forget Their Names. Actually, their deck is pretty heavy on removal. I'm going to go down 3 copies of Chronicle of Precedence and then go up the 2 Chronicle of Extinction as well. And so just be mindful of, this game moving forward. I want to prioritize black sources over blue sources because Chronicle of Extinction and Forget Their Names are coming in. I guess Chronicle is the only like black mana intensive thing we're adding. But we're going down on Chronicle of Precedence, which is our primary reason to want to have double blue. So yeah. Weird first game. I had no right winning that game. I got myself with a plane I probably shouldn't have put in my planar deck. And then my opponent gave my creature back to me so I would outlast the Host of the Neverending Revels and keep my thing killing my opponent in play. And notably also, if I had just gone for Corrupt Congressman instead of making that 2/2 minion, I probably would have just killed them the turn that I made that attack. Actually, no, I would have taken them to 1, but their Phoenix's Touch wouldn't have been able to draw. So it would have been good. Opponent probably going to be on the play here. Just going to refresh real quick. Opponent will play. Opponent is keeping 7. Don't love this, but it could work. This is really risky. I think there are worlds where this does something silly. Let's see where the first plane takes us. Plane time. We are going to Test Site Syzygy. That is good for me, because I can just go get the Vishanki click and solve my mana problems. Because that is green. And I could even roll Chaos and just dump multiple cards into play. I wouldn't mind getting to go roll Chaos, Unspeaking Titan Chronicle of Precedence. I think that would be great. Cityscape from our opponent. They might roll here just to go get the 4 mana. Yep, rolling. Also denies us the Syzygy if they planeswalk. No luck for them, though. So we are going to untap Upkeep. Also going to make a Vishanki click. Oh, can I make a clone of this, please? There we go. And draw. Turn to Nyx is the pickup here. I kind of want to roll, because if I roll Chaos, I could go add 4 blue mana, Swamp plus blue, Corrupt Congressman, floating 2 blue, make a treasure, Chronicle of Precedence, Corrupt Congressman, torment my opponent, and then I have 2 Corrupt Congressmans in play. That's kind of silly. Let's take the free roll here. Oh my god. Other consideration here. What if we do Unflinching Titan? Any one color. So we're going to play Swamp. We're going to play Corrupt Congressman. They say 2 Regiices. Nope. I wasn't put treasure as the annotation here. Kind of debating if I want to make a treasure with Vishanki incorporated or just start tormenting my opponent. I think... Tormenting my opponent is better in the blind, because my opponent is now currently under fire of having to deal with both of these corrupt congressmen, and also the fact that we're on a plane that is going to let me keep pledging. But the treasures do let me potentially go for something next turn. I think I'm just going to say Torment. This is ridiculous. Opponent takes 3. We're going to go ahead and pass. Just start applying pressure immediately. They're going to crack Cityscape, pitching a Swamp. Presumably going to find Swamp and Mountain. Oh, no, just getting Swamp. Maybe they have a Mountain in hand. Or I guess with Vishanki Incorporated, they don't necessarily need the Mountain. I think I have no right to complain about the die rolls anymore. That is the second time across this... That is the second time across the GP where I have had an insane turn 1 courtesy of a Chaos roll. So yeah, I have no business complaining about my D6 rolls. I can roll 2 through 5 for the rest of the GP, and I've still gotten insanely lucky. And even then, I haven't won this game. I've got 2/3s in play that are going to hurt my opponent turn after turn, but they're going to get to out with the old one of them. So that is Corrupt Congressman getting exiled. And now we just have the token. And opponent is rolling. But we stay on test site Syzygy. Going to untap. Upkeep, I'm just going to make the treasure. And then I will draw another Unflinching Titan. I think that means I'm going to try and go Congressman attack. I think I Congressman attack before I roll. Now I will roll. What? So that's insane. Chronicle costs 8 to flash back. If we had an untapped land, we could flash back Chronicle of Precedence right now. But I don't think I can. Opponent says, "Oh, thank God." I feel like I'm obligated to communicate that that is not a line I can consider here. I can go for 4 green, Unflinching Titan, and then either spend the last green and my treasures and swamp to Chronicle of Extinction my opponent, or I can spend one of the remaining green, 1 land, 1 treasure to go for the second Unflinching Titan. And if Titan hits a land of any kind, as long as it's not a swamp, then Nascent Light Vein, I guess if it hits a basic island or a basic forest, or one of our blue-black duels, then Unflinching Titan allows us to play Nascent Light Vein on green, and then play the second Unflinching Titan without spending any of the treasures. Or we just play... I think we're going to go the green. Going for Unflinching Titan. You top 1. Corrupt Congressman might be fine. I think with that in mind, I'm going to play Nascent Light Vein on blue. Crack Treasure for a blue. And go for Unspeaking Titan with this mana. And then we pass. Because I don't want to. I want to specifically keep turn to Nyx up for something our opponent might have here. We can counter any 1s or 2s that they might play. Though preferably we can just stay on Syzygy and stay with this treasure so we can try and play Unflinching Titan next turn. Or play Corrupt Congressman next turn. Though I guess the Congressman token we have does also allow us to try and go for things. Opponent is rolling. No luck for them. Yeah, I have absolutely scammed my way into a comfortable position here. Opponent is playing Corrupt Congressman. Gonna see if they torment us. Opponent is thinking on the Congressman. I think I'm fine just taking 3. Just making sure I confirm because they cleared the arrow. All right, I'll just take 3. Because we can Unflinching Titan next turn and then use Unspeaking Titan to start stunning it. Opponent is thinking. And rolling again. Rolls a 4. You'll untap. Upkeep. We can torment them, put them in an awkward bind, and then torment them again. If we make double treasure, we can guarantee holding up turn to Nyx. And then we get to clock for 10. I think the fact we're clocking for 10 makes me want to torment. But it's going to take the 3. We're going to draw for turn. Main 1. Unflinching Titan. View top 1. Deep Life Cavern. Surveil that to bin and put it into play. We hit our land drop. And then go to combat. Titan and Torment. And yeah, they're just gonna sack the Congressman here. And then we do the Surveil, get a Cityscape off of Regirock, which is really saving us on this mana situation. And then we hit for 10. Our opponent's to 2. This format's weird. This format's absolute chaos. Opponent makes a treasure from Syzygy. We could have rolled, actually. We could have rolled, but I think I don't want to leave this plane necessarily. Yeah, I should have rolled. I should have definitely... Oh, no, I did the free roll, so I couldn't have rolled again, right? First main, I tormented them. No, I went right to combat. I didn't roll. Oh, no, and my opponent gets the 6. So now they get to try and stabilize here. Opponent is adding white mana. I feel like you just add black, right? Opponent is spending a bunch of mana. Extraction mission for Corrupt Congressman? So black, 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 and red. I think I'll just take 6. Because, like, I'll take another 3. I'll discard Chronicle of Extinction. I'm not gonna go down to 3 here. Okay, opponent doesn't have a land drop. We will Torment. They pitch a land. We will draw. We're just gonna go right into combat and ship them all in. Good God. GG is usually good game, but right now it is good God. I had no business winning that first game, and the plane won that second game. Crazy. Test Site Syzygy added 12 mana. Oh my God. So it had 12 mana, plus we started there, and we never left. So opponent started there, then I started there, immediately rolled. I made 2 treasures, which I couldn't have made necessarily without Test Site Syzygy. So I got 4 mana plus 2 mana on that turn. No, I made 1 treasure because I made the treasure and I tormented my opponent. No, I did make two treasures because I made treasure off of the Congressman Enter. Then I cloned it, made a treasure from that, and then I did torment them. I did only make 1 treasure turn 1, but I made a treasure turn 1, which I couldn't have done without Syzygy in play. And Syzygy putting me on Vishanki Incorporated immediately both made it so I could roll Chaos and play Corrupt Congressman, and the treasure from Corrupt Congressman made it possible for me to play the one of Chronicle of Precedence. I boarded 3 of the 4 out, and the 4th one was in my opening hand to be played off of Test Site Syzygy turn 1. What an insane match. I'll say this about the Plane Chase format. It is weird. It is hard to really judge. I don't think the deck I'm on is particularly competitively viable per se, at least not this specific build. There are things about it that are truly messed up. Unspeaking Titan, crazy card. But, like, there are things about this deck that really do exemplify exactly what I aimed for in the deck tech, which is that I wanted to try and maximize my ability to leverage Plane Chase shenanigans. The absolute utter absurdity of some of the planes across these 2 games really reshaping how that match played out in a way where I don't think I necessarily would have been in the worst position without the planes, especially when I flipped into Silenced Court and cleared my own tokens. That felt really awkward. But in that same respect, I feel like things could have gone so much worse, and things went incredibly well for me. So I guess we'll see how round 4 treats us. Bummers to be on the receiving end of all of that. Well played to Viola, and thank you so much for the match. And as for the rest of you, I will see you all in the final Swiss round of Grand Prix Halls of Valor. Stay tuned, everybody.